Hello. Welcome to Putnam Virtual School's 2022-2023 enrollment video. We are super excited about your interest in Putnam Virtual School. So let's go ahead and get started. So Putnam Virtual School, our mission here is to ensure that all students are provided with an academically rich and rigorous education through online learning opportunities that meet the needs of today's diverse learners. Our vision is to be leaders in innovative online instruction that uses best practices to promote academic excellence and lifelong learning in a student-centered environment. We are a small department here at Putnam County School District. Our staff consists of Miss Mary Wood, she's our principal. I am Miss Bonnie Putman. I'm the facilitator and serve as the school counselor. And Miss Amy Futch is our registrar, our attendance clerk, and anything that has to do with Skyward and data, she is in charge of that. And then we have Mr. John Lockhart. He is not housed here in our department. He's housed over at the Science and Technology Building next to the CL over Turf District Center. But he is over the Chromebooks that we provide for our PBS students. Putnam Virtual School is fully online. We service students K to 12 here in Putnam County. We do award high school diplomas, which is different from homeschool. We had three 11th graders graduate early in 2022, and we had 9 seniors graduate. FLVS, our instruction is asynchronous, which means we do not have a live teacher. Students can view and work in their courses every single day at any time during the day that they choose. There's not someone live that's going to work with them on a daily basis. You, the parent or the learning coach, is their point of contact and the person that will assist them through the learning process. We don't offer an alternative curriculum. The only curriculum that the students use here is the FLVS curriculum. So if your child is receiving access points through access curriculum through the ESE department, we do not have that curriculum, and therefore this will not be the program for them. All students have to take 6 courses through PBS, and we do follow the Putnam County School District calendar. This is not an at your own pace program. Students are required to follow the calendar and complete a certain percentage of their courses each week. Daily attendance is required. The way that we do that is students log in to a Canvas homeroom page. Once they do that, they are counted present for the day. They will need to do that each day to be counted present. State testing is required. Any testing that the district provides for their public school students or the state of Florida requires public school students to participate in. Putnam Virtual School students are required to participate in that testing as well. We do test our own students. We test over at the CL over Turf District Center. And you'll get more information about that as testing comes around. The curriculum is very rigorous and it is a demanding timeline. We require students move 5 to 6% in their courses each week. If they are not able to keep up with that pace, there is a risk of being exited from the program. If your child is in the exceptional education program, which means they have an IEP or they receive special services from the district like speech or occupational therapy. Those services are provided by brick and mortar schools. So whatever your child's neighborhood school would be, that's where those services will be provided. And parents do have to provide their own transportation to take the kids to those services. If your child has an IEP, an individual education plan, The parent or the learning coach is the one who would provide those accommodations for their students as they work through this curriculum. So what does the enrollment process look like? So after we receive your application, we will contact you to schedule an enrollment meeting. Before you show up for the enrollment meeting, you will complete the enrollment paperwork online. I'll send you a link to that so you'll be able to have that completed. And then you'll need to bring with you a driver's license, proof of residency, which is just a bill, a mortgage statement, your lease agreement, anything with your current address on it. We'll need a copy of your child's birth certificate, a copy of their Florida shot record, and a current school physical, and a social security card if you have one of those available. All the enrollment meetings are in person, and we will meet at the Putnam County School District office, which is located on Reed Street across from Angel's Diner in Palatka. It is recommended that if the parent is not the one that's going to be with the child each and every day, that learning coach does attend the meeting with the parent and the student. We want the student to come as well. At the meeting, we're going to discuss expectations that we have for our students, the enrollment criteria, and whether or not we feel, based on the student's educational history, if this is going to be the best fit for them for their education. We do not give decisions of enrollment at those enrollment meetings. We wait and we discuss them after the enrollment meeting. The PVS staff gets together and we'll make a decision whether or not we feel that this is the best fit for them, and we'll let you know within 24 hours of our decision. Again, Putnam Virtual School is a public school, and so therefore the district will provide a Chromebook to each student who is enrolled in the program. If you need a Chromebook for your child, when I send your email about the enrollment meeting, I will send a link to a technology request form that will need to be filled out. There are going to be Chromebook distribution days set up where parents will go over to the Science Technology Building, which is located next door to CL Overturf, and they will sign out a Chromebook for their student. Those dates will be announced prior to the start of the school year. Students won't be able to log into their Chromebooks right away. As they are transferring from their old school to Putnam Virtual School, their login username and password will change. And so it takes about 24 to 48 hours after they're enrolled with Putnam Virtual School for us to get those login credentials. Once we receive those from the IT department, Amy Futch emails those out to the parents and students so they have those and are able to log in to their Chromebooks. Any issues that you have with your Chromebook, be sure to contact Mr. Lockhart, and his contact information is on our school website. If you have any issues with your username or your password, then you need to contact Amy Futch. If you feel like it's been 24 to 48 hours and you haven't heard from her about how to log into your Chromebook or your username and password for Clever, contact her and she will be able to help you with that. So after you are accepted to Putnam Virtual School and you have been enrolled, the next step is for you to create your FLVS account. All students and parents need a FLVS account. So we partner with My District Virtual, which is a service through NEFACT. Those are the teachers that will teach, help your children. They're assigned to those classes in FLVS. Like I said, they're not live classes, but if your child comes to you and says, I don't understand how to do this, you look at it, you're like, I don't know either. There is a teacher that's assigned to each of your child's courses who you can reach out to via phone, email, or text, and they'll be able to assist you. You'll find out who your teachers are once you create your FLVS account. You add your courses, and then you'll be waiting for teachers to be assigned. If you want to go ahead and take a look at what the FLVS curriculum looks like, there is some samples on their website. You would just go to www.flvs.net, and you'll be able to look at some samples of their curriculum. I'm going to take you there right now so we can go ahead and look at that. So if you see, I went to www.flvs.net. I went under their curriculum, and here is where you can preview their courses. If you have an elementary school student, so if your child is in 2nd grade, here is a sample of their science. So this module is called Forces of Nature, and the lesson is called Do We Have a Problem? So you can see that the curriculum is already pre-populated on the web page, so you can access it Monday through Friday, and even on the weekends, 24 hours a day, you can work in classes. You can work as fast as you want, you just can't work as slow as you want. You have to keep that 5 to 6% completion pace each week in order to remain in the program. So if you go through the little arrow, you'll see that there's some things to do along the way, questions to answer, practice things that they'll need to do. And then at the very end, there is an assignment that they'll be responsible for submitting. So that is how elementary looks. Let's go back and we'll look at middle school and high school. So let's say they were taking Algebra 1. Let's look at Algebra 1. This module is titled Linear Functions. The lesson is titled Linear Models. And you'll see, same type of thing. The curriculum is already preloaded, and they'll go through the lesson. There's some videos that they'll watch in this lesson. There'll be things that they have to do along the way, questions that they have to answer, things of that nature. There's a try it down here. And then at the end, there will be an assignment that they will need to submit. Once they submit the assignment, that's how their completion percentage goes up each week. All right, so remember that students will work independently on these assignments. There is not a live instructor with FLVS. A live instructor is there if a child is not a live instructor, I'm sorry. An instructor is available if a child is struggling, but they're not getting on live with the teacher every single day. So once you click on flvs.net, and I'm going to do it real quick for you, you'll see that there is an enroll button over here to the right, and this is how you start creating your account. Once you click on enroll, we are County Virtual School. That's us down here. So if you have a child in 6th through 12th grade or a kindergarten through 5th grader, depending on where you are, you'll click on that button, and then you'll come down to Putnam County. It'll give you your eligibility requirements, contact for us, Mary Wood, and here's our telephone number. And then you will get to 5 steps that they'll give you. You can review the requirements, pick your courses, make sure those are the approved courses that we talked about, and we'll talk about that at the enrollment meeting, and then check your course status. So after you do that, read that, you'll click enroll. It'll ask you what county are you in. This is Putnam County. And we are public school. This is not homeschool. Okay, a lot of people get that messed up. You are at home when you're doing it most of the time, but this is a public school here in Putnam County. So click public school and continue. So this is when you add your classes. If you're a high school student, here are your classes. If you're a middle school student, you'll need to toggle over to middle school. So let's say it's a 6th grader, they're going to click on language arts. They want language arts. They're going to add it to their backpack. They're going to add another course. They're going to add, gotta go back to middle school. They're going to add comprehensive science. They're going to add that to their backpack. They're going to add another course. Make sure you go back to middle school. They're going to take world history as a 6th grader, add that to their backpack, add some more courses. We need a math for middle school. So they're going to take, they can take accelerated math or just, we're going to take just regular old math, add it to the backpack, and then they get to take 2 electives. And we'll talk about those electives at our enrollment meeting. But I'm going to take a PE, add that to my backpack, and then I get 1 more course. I'll go back to middle school, and I'm going to take beginning Spanish. Add that to my backpack. So those are my 6 classes I'm going to take, and then I'm going to click continue. And then here is where you have to create an account. If you're new to FLVS, you'll need to create an account. And then there's tons of stuff that you'll need to do here. First thing is you need to create your login and your password. We do not have access to your login and password for FLVS. You're creating this on your own. We give you the username and password for your Chromebook, which gets you into Clever and Canvas, but FLVS is your own account. You create this on your own. So after you create it, let's say my username is Putman1234, and my password is going to be something. I would go ahead, if I were you, and take a picture of whatever it is, your username and password, so that you have that and you can keep a hold of it. Because if you call us and say, I don't remember my FLVS password, we can't help you. You're going to have to go through FLVS to figure out what your username and password is. And it's a lot. So you don't want to do that. You don't have the access to the FLVS people like you do to us. So make sure that you hold on to that FLVS username and password. If it were me, I would use the same username and password that I have for my Chromebook for my FLVS account. And that way it's the same one that you think to yourself, all my school username and passwords are going to be the same. Chromebook, Clever, Canvas, FLVS. Okay. So here's kind of a little overview. Once you get on flvs.net, you're going to click enroll over here. Then you're going to choose whether or not you're a kindergarten through 5th grader or a 6th through 12th grader. It'll give you the 5 steps, and then you'll click that blue button that says enroll, and that's how you start creating your student account for FLVS. So it can take several days for your courses to be assigned to a teacher. So you went in, you signed up, and you'll see on your student dashboard that it'll say sign up complete, and then next is verified. That's where I come in. I'll get an email that says, hey, Bonnie Putnam has signed up for FLVS. Can you verify her courses? So I go in and I'll look. Are these the courses that we talked about? Yeah, they are. So I'll verify them and say, yep, these are the courses that I want them to take. So once verification has been completed by me, the next step is assigned. Assigned is when you're assigned a teacher for each of these classes, and this can take several days. So you're going to be waiting. What are you going to do in the meantime? Well, in the meantime, you're going to go ahead and log in to Clever and Canvas and take a look at those, what those look like. So how do you get to Clever and Canvas? Well, when you open up your Chromebook and you log in, it's going to take you to our school website. If you're using your own computer, you're going to go to www.putnamschools.org, and that will take you to our district website, and that's how we're going to get to Canvas. I'm going to take you there now. Oops, I lied. Hold on. There we go. So here's our district webpage. And so if you go under menu, and then you look under quick links, you'll see Clever. So you're going to click on Clever, and then it would ask you to type in your credentials. My credentials are already populated in here, but it'll ask you to type in your username and your password. Your username is going to be whatever the beginning is, and then it's at my.putnamschools.org. So whatever that email address is for you, and you'll get that from Ms. Butch, you'll type that in, and then your password, and then you'll come to your Clever page. If you look, you'll see that I've already created a page with my name on it. So you should be able to click on that and see all the resources that I've shared with you. So I want you to go to Canvas. After you click on my page, you'll go to Canvas. And here is our daily attendance tile. Sometimes when you log into Canvas the first time, it'll look like this. And you're like, I don't see the tile. I don't know where it is. I don't know where to click for daily attendance. Well, if you come over here to these three dots and you click on card view, it populates. So make sure that you're on card view, and then you'll click on daily attendance, and you'll come to our homeroom page. So this is our homeroom page. And right now we're coming to the end of the year. We actually start testing next week. So there's a lot of information about testing. There's an affirmation every single day. So you can come on and read what the affirmation is for the day. And then I give you a little history lesson on what has taken place on that day in history. And let's see, today, the founder of Lamborghini was born on this day in 1916. So that's what he looks like, and that's a Lamborghini, pretty fancy car. So then there's some what's new, there's some happy birthday shout outs, there's shout outs of student successes, we got some senior information. We have social emotional learning lessons. So these could be really good lessons on developing self-awareness, self-control, and some interpersonal skills. These are vital for life just as students and as we go on in life as adults and being successful. And then you'll see this icon. This is very important. This is our FLVS icon, and I'm going to come back to that in a second. Then we have important dates that you need to look at. We have all of our contact information. We have a link to our school website. We have a link to our announcements. We have all of our Remind sign up. So if you have an elementary school student, you'll need to sign up for the elementary Remind. Middle grades, K to 8, need to sign up for middle school, and all of our 9th through 12th graders need to sign up for the high school Remind. And then there is information about our school team here at Putnam Virtual. Mary Wood, myself, Mr. Lockhart, Miss Futch, and then Miss Richburg, Christy Richburg is the MDVS coordinator. She works for NEFAC, and she is the one who does the hiring of our teachers for Putnam Virtual School. So her contact information is on there as well. And then we have tech support. So if you're having technical issues with FLVS, we cannot help you here, but we do have the telephone number for FLVS. And then we have this link where you can go in and contact FLVS. And then we have our expectations. So all Putnam Virtual School students are expected to log in daily for attendance through our homeroom page. And once you are logged in to Canvas through our homeroom page, you are going to be counted present for that day. I will talk a little bit later about creating a schedule. You should expect to be working 4 to 6 hours each day in all of your courses. You need to be progressing 5 to 6% in completing the course each week. You need to be at least 20% complete in all of your classes within the first 28 calendar days of the semester. And then you have to be your own advocate. If you're struggling in a class, if your grade is slipping and it's below a C, or you just need help in a subject area, you have to reach out to your teachers. They are not going to see you on a daily basis. They're not going to know if you need assistance unless you text them or set up a time to meet with them virtually so they can help you. And communication is key. Again, we don't see you on a daily basis. So when we reach out to you, we expect you to respond to our emails, phone calls, same with the teachers as well. So I told you that I was going to come back to that FLVS icon. So our 3-step process every single day is Clever, Canvas, and then FLVS. So you'll log into Clever first, then you'll click on Canvas, and then you will scroll down to this FLVS icon. And once you click on that, it will take you to your login for FLVS. Remember, this is the username and password that you created, so we don't have access to this. So this is how you're going to access your courses. You're going to log into your FLVS account, and then it will take you to your classes, and you'll be able to work online through those. All right. Okay. So then once you get your teachers assigned, you'll see on your circle has changed again, and this circle is on your student dashboard, and it says you're in. Click course below to start. Well, you'll see that I kind of added some stuff to the next circle. The first thing I want you to do is to click on where it says teacher, because once you are assigned a teacher, you need to contact that teacher and set up a welcome call, which is like a virtual open house. It's where the teacher is going to meet with you and tell you, this is what's expected. This is where you could find my information. This is how you find study guides. This is how you take exams in my class. All sorts of things like that. This is where you click if you need help, and I can get back with you. So you're going to do that first. And all you'll do is you'll get her contact or his contact information when you click on teacher, and you'll just reach out to them and say, hey, it's Bonnie Putman. I'm in your Earth Space Science class, and I need to set up my welcome call. And that's it. And then you wait for them to contact you back. They do have 24 hours that they have to contact you back. So don't expect an immediate response. All of this takes some time. And so then after you set up that welcome call, even if they say, I can't meet with you until next Monday, The second thing you do is click on course and you go ahead and get started. You can get started in your course before you do your welcome call. However, you're not going to get credit for any of that until you have your welcome call. So you can do it, and you're not showing active in the course. But once you have the welcome call, everything that you've done will show as active, and it will, you'll receive credit for what you've done. Okay. All right, let's move on. So back to attendance real quick. Putnam Virtual School students, it is a full-time program. And since it is full-time and it's public school, we are required by mandate, state statute, to take daily attendance. And again, it's a 3-step process: Clever, Canvas, FLVS. That's what you do every day in that order. Okay. If you are not logging in daily and we see that your attendance is not where it should be, we will be contacting truancy, and some things, not so great things can happen if truancy is contacted. One, for our 15 years old and up kiddos, your learner's permit or driver's license can be suspended, or I guess revoked until you become compliant with attendance. And for all students K to 12, if your family receives federal funding or federal assistance, that can be denied if your child is not attending school on a regular basis. So just make sure that you are following those 3 steps: Clever, Canvas, FLVS, in that order every single day. We kind of already went over this on how to log in. Again, you click on the FLVS and then it will take you to your login page where you log in to get access to your courses. All right, I had told you we would talk about schedule, and now we're going to talk about one. So to be successful in virtual school, and I've been doing this now for a couple of years, and I've seen hundreds of students come through our program. Some are super successful and some not so much. And one thing that I have seen over and over again is that students who are successful with virtual school are creating and following a daily schedule. You just can't wake up and say, maybe I'll do a little bit of math today, and then, maybe later I'll do some social studies. You can't do that. You have to create a daily schedule in order to get through these classes. So here's an example. This person created their schedule Monday through Friday. They're starting at 9 o'clock in the morning. They've set aside 9 to 10:15 to do English every day. 10:15 to 11:30, they're doing math, and so on. They gave themselves a lunch break and some time in between. Do you have to start at 9 o'clock? No. There's no time that virtual starts. There's no time that virtual ends. What it is important is that you're working in each of your classes every single day. You have to be submitting assignments weekly in order to move and increase that completion percentage so that you're 100% complete with your course by the end of the semester. Here's another example. So this person wrote in their binder or their agenda, okay, on Monday, I'm going to do biology, geometry, history, English, hope, and Spanish. They wrote the module number, which for biology was module 6, lesson 5. You'll notice geometry, it's module 7, lesson 7, and then in parentheses, they've put scheduled DBA. DBA is a discussion-based assessment. It's like a test that you're taking one-on-one with your teacher, either over the phone or over Zoom, where your teacher is going to ask you questions about what you've learned so far in the module or in the unit, and you'll need to answer those questions. This is required, and it's only between the student and the teacher. So you have to schedule those, and you should schedule them in advance because spaces fill up. So you don't want to get to the end of your module and it's time for you to have this assessment, and you contact your teacher that day and she says, well, I can't meet with you. I'm all filled up in my calendar until next week. And then you're sitting for an entire week because you can't go on to the next module, the next unit, and do lessons. So you need to schedule those in advance. That's why you need to map out, okay, there's 7 lessons in this unit. So if I do a lesson every single day or a lesson every other day, what day am I going to need my DBA? Okay, let me call my teacher now and say, hey, I need my DBA on this day, and go ahead and schedule it. You'll also see where they have written on their calendar when they have an exam, when they need to call their teacher, when the end of the quarter ends, when there's no school. So this is a great example of how to keep a schedule and to follow it. Here's another example. This person works. So you can see that they put in some work and chores at the house on their schedule, which is important for those high school students who have jobs. And then lastly, I want to show a non-example. This is not what you're going to do. You're not going to work in one class per day. You are working in all classes every day. Couple of reasons why. One, let's say Monday you have a doctor's appointment, so you're not going to be able to do English. And so you're not going to be able to do English until next Monday. Well, it's policy that you submit assignments on a weekly basis. So if you miss one day, then you're messed up and you're not within policy on what you're supposed to be submitting each week in your classes. Another thing is that if you're submitting something in math on Tuesday and then you go an entire 7 days before you get back to that math, you're not having that consistency. So it's almost like you're going to have to relearn it again when you get to math again a week later. And so that's not good for your brain and for consistency and learning what it is that you need to learn in those classes. So what we suggest strongly is that your schedule consists of all 6 of your classes every single day. And then follow that and you will definitely see success with Putnam Virtual School. So some other responsibilities besides creating that schedule is we look for self-motivated students. Parents, you should not be dragging students kicking and screaming through the virtual program. They should create their schedule and they should be getting up and working in their courses every single day. They have to complete their courses by the end of each semester. We do follow the Putnam school calendar. That's on the district website. You'll get a copy of it as well. And in order to stay on pace so that you finish by the end of the semester, you need to be moving 5 to 6% each week in completing these courses. Refer to course pacing guides. Each of your teachers will have a course pacing guide that tells you what lessons are due on what week. And if you follow that pacing guide, you'll be sure to finish on time. Make sure that your child maintains a C or better in classes. If they are struggling, you need to reach out to the instructors. The instructors are not going to reach out to you and say, hey, Bonnie, it looks like you're having some struggling or some problems in math. Do you need my help? That's not how this program works. You have to reach out to the teacher and say, hey, I'm having a problem with module 3, lesson 7. Can we meet or can I call you or can you help me with this? We're expecting that communication is prompt and professional. If we send an email to you We expect a response and we expect a professional response. Pacing is very important. Like I said before, you can work as fast as you want. You just can't work as slow as you want. You just have to keep moving. You can't not work in classes. Academic integrity. My little picture on the screen says plagiarism is the act of presenting another's work or ideas as your own. This includes copying and pasting off the internet. Everything that you submit has to be 100% your own. You have to come up with it in your own brain. The part of the way that teachers know if you are submitting your own work is that DBA that I talked about, that discussion-based assessment that is required, where the instructors will meet with the students one-on-one, either on the phone or via Zoom, and they'll ask them questions to make sure that they're doing the courses independently. Another thing is every time you submit an assignment, it goes through this software program that's called Turnitin. And Turnitin is a genius who looks at everything that's on the internet, that's out there everywhere. And if your assignment is similar to something that was already posted online that you copied and pasted, Turnitin will know and your assignment will be rejected. And then there will be kind of like a hearing where FLVS will meet with you and say, hey, what happened? This is not policy. And you could end up, one, failing that class. They would just give you a failing grade, or you would be exited from the program. So make sure that 100% of what you submit is your own work out of your own brain. All right, parents, you do have a role here, and it's a big one. So it is extremely important that you are involved in order for your child to be successful in the virtual program. You're signing up as the learning coach, or you're choosing a tutor or someone who's going to be your child's learning coach. This is a time commitment. Elementary students, parents, you're signing up for 4 to 6 hours daily to work with your students. That means monitoring them each day. That means looking to make sure that they're making that progress every week, 5 to 6%. You're making sure that they understand the content in the curriculum, and you're helping them with basic skills like navigating the computer, especially if it's these young ones. You have to be sitting right beside them and helping them through this program. Remember, there is no live instructor. You are their point of contact. Also, we're expecting parents to provide a safe and secure learning environment. Do not prop them up in front of the TV on a TV tray to do their work every day. That is not distraction free. You need to set them up in a nice work area where they are free from distractions. If they have to silence their phone, or their phone goes in another room while they're working in their classes, great. They can put in their schedule where they have phone breaks every 30 minutes or every hour, whatever. They stop for 15 minutes and get on their phone. But really, we need a safe, secure, distraction-free learning environment. Parents are needing to provide computers and internet access, good internet access. If your internet is kind of shaky at your house, then this is probably not going to be the best option for your child. Also, elementary students need to have access to a printer. There's things that need to be printed for the elementary school students. Make sure that they have a phone. Their teachers will be contacting them via telephone, and they need to communicate regularly, or you need to communicate regularly with your child, their teachers, and with myself. I'll be sending weekly reminders to you throughout the school year. And there'll be times where I do need a response from you. So make sure that we are communicating. 3rd through 12th graders, you will be testing. And so it's important that parents, you provide transportation to those tests. And any meetings that we have throughout the school year, you'll need to provide transportation to those too, as those meetings are in person. You're going to need to be available to your student for assistance. This is not a prop my child up in front of the computer and then I leave and run errands all day, or I tend to other children, or I go to work. You really need to be spending 1 to 6 hours of instructional time with your student, and that's dependent on their grade level. Of course, the younger they are, the more hours you need to spend with them, and the older that they are, the least amount of time that time goes down. Students need to be supervised. You need to be supervising the work that's submitted. You need to work with them on planning a schedule. And then you do need to be aware of promotional requirements. What do they need in order to get to the next level? And that's not just grades, that's also testing requirements as well. All our high school students and their parents, they should know all about graduation requirements for college, or whatever your future plans are after high school. And a lot of that information can be found on our school website. This is it. So here is contact information for Ms. Wood, myself, and Ms. Futch. I put a little phone icon up there so you could take a picture of this, so that you could have it in your phone, so that you have our contact information. And again, I would like to thank you for your interest in Putnam Virtual School, and I look forward to receiving your application. Thank you. Bye-bye.